Florida Real Estate Exam 10, Legal Descriptions, F. 66 questions with explained answers. Flashcard 1. Term, the NW1 quarter of the SW1 quarter of the NE1 quarter and the NW1 quarter of the NW1 quarter of the SW1 half of section blank, township blank range blank. Definition. For x4 equals 64, 640 over 64 equals 10 acres and 4x2 equals 32, 640 over 32 equals 20 acres 10 plus 20 equals 30 acres. Flashcard 2. Term, how many cubic feet are in a cubic yard? Definition, 27. Flashcard 3. Term, suppose you want a 2½ acre lot in section 36. What is the legal description? Definition, SW1 quarter of the NE1 quarter of the SE1 quarter of the NW1 quarter of section 36. Flashcard 4. Term, where is each plat map recorded? Definition, in the county where the property is located so that anyone wishing to find the full legal description can refer to that plat. Flashcard 5. Term, how do you determine the acreage in a section? Definition, multiplying the denominators, lower number, of the fractions in a legal description and divide that number into 640 acres in a section of land. Flashcard 6. Term, what are some formulas to remember? Definition, area is always expressed in square feet or square yards. Area of a rectangle is area equals length x width. Area of a triangle is area equals 1/2 base x height. Volume is always expressed in cubic feet or cubic yards. Volume of a rectangle is volume equals length x width x depth. Volume of a triangular prism is volume equals 1/2 base x height x depth. Flashcard 7. Term, once the plat has a complete legal description, smaller areas in the plat are referred to as what? For example. Definition, subdivision A. Flashcard 8. Term, an example of a monument would be a N. Definition, Old Dutch mill, the stone fence, the stately old pine. Flashcard 9. Term, how many degrees are used in a measurement of metes and bounds? Definition, 360. Flashcard 10. Term, what is a section the basis of? Definition, a legal description. Flashcard 11. Term, what are the numbers in degrees based on a 360-degree Celsius? Definition, compass headings. Flashcard 12. Term, principal meridians run. Definition, north and south. Flashcard 13. Term, a township is formed by the forming of a. Definition, N/SE/W tier. Flashcard 14. Term, what does a legal description identify? Definition, a property's location, measurements, and all necessary location information to identify a plot of land. Flashcard 15. Term, what system does most of the country use to determine where a property is located? Definition, the U.S. Rectangular Government Survey or a combination of both metes and bounds and U.S. Rectangular Government Survey. Flashcard 16. Term, correction lines running east and west are located every blank miles north and south more or less of the baseline. Definition, 24. Flashcard 17. Term, what does the term metes refer to? Definition, distance. Flashcard 18. Term, how many acres of land are there in the S1 half of the N1 half of the SW1 quarter? 10 acres 20 acres 40 acres 160 acres. Definition, take 2x4 equals 16. Divide 640 by 16 equals 40 acres. Flashcard 19. Term, what are the three methods for creating a legal description? Definition, metes and bounds rectangular government survey lot and block number on a plat map. Flashcard 20. Term, what states use the metes and bounds system? Definition, the original 13 colonies, plus Hawaii, Kentucky, Maine, Texas, Tennessee, Vermont, West Virginia, and parts of Ohio. Flashcard 21. Term, how do township lines run? Definition, east and west linearly, a horizontal line. Flashcard 22. Term, how many acres are in 1 square mile? Definition, 640. Flashcard 23. Term, where is R1W? Definition, the west side of the principal meridian. Flashcard 24. Term, a township is how many square miles? Definition, 36. Flashcard 25. Term, what is the way to determine the identity of a property? Definition, a legal description. Flashcard 26. Term, what is the starting point of a surveyor called? Definition, point of beginning, POB. Flashcard 27. Term, what are compass directions used for? Definition, to describe the direction of boundary lines using a circle, 360 degrees. Flashcard 28. Term, sections for a township are numbered from front upper blank to blank and across a township in a back and forth movement. Definition, right left. Flashcard 29. Term, a township is then divided into how many sections? Definition, 36. Flashcard 30. Term, how many feet are in a mile? Definition, 5,280. Flashcard 31. Term, what are metes and bounds? Definition, is the oldest of all the measuring systems used in the United States. It relies on monuments and point of beginning. It includes compass readings in degrees, minutes and seconds. Surveyors use specific equipment to measure the direction and angles. Flashcard 32. Term, how is the U.S. rectangular government survey arranged? Definition, in a series of grids with lines going north and south and other lines going east and west. Flashcard 33. Term, what is a fractional government lot? Definition, are irregularly shaped parcels of land, usually fronting on water, which could not be divided practically into sections under the government survey system. Areas which would not be divided practically using the method above and may be supplemented with a metes and bounds. Flashcard 34. Term, a lot contained 600 square yards and had a frontage of 40 feet. If the lot was rectangular in shape, what would be the length of the lot measure? 15 feet, 135 feet, 185 feet, 217 feet. Definition, first, convert square yards into square feet. 600 x 9 equals 5,400 square feet. Area equals length x width. So if area is known, then the formula becomes area divided by width equals length, or 5,400 divided by 40 equals 135 feet. Flashcard 35. Term, each 24x24 square created by these guide meridians and correction lines is called a what? Definition, check. Flashcard 36. Term, what is a legal description used for? Definition, as a form of identification, is used on legal papers like contracts, deeds and title insurance policies for a particular property. Flashcard 37. Term, what is the word thence used for? Definition, to indicate a change in direction. Flashcard 38. Term, Florida's measurement begins where? Definition, Tallahassee. Flashcard 39. Term, what is a lot and block system? Definition, the system utilizes a map referred to as a plat map. Flashcard 40. Term, how many acres are in a section? Definition, 640. Flashcard 41. Term, where does the survey end? Definition, at the place it started, the point of beginning or POB. Flashcard 42. Term, what helps determine the amount of tax money available to each taxing entity? Definition, parcel number. Flashcard 43. Term, where does the Tallahassee baseline run? Definition, east and west. Flashcard 44. Term, baselines run. Definition, east and west. Flashcard 45. Term, where is range 1E? Definition, on the east of the Tallahassee principal meridian. Flashcard 46. Term, to correct for the curvature of the earth, guide meridians are drawn every blank miles east and west of the principal meridians and offset the principal meridian by blank feet m/l. Definition, 2,450. Flashcard 47. Term, what is a benchmark? Definition, used to speed up the surveying process. Surveyors use a shortcut, a permanent brass plate, placed in the ground, and it notates the feet above sea level at that location. The surveyor can then start at the benchmark in order to determine elevation, feet above sea level. Flashcard 48. Term, what does the term bounds refer to? Definition, a direction. Flashcard 49. Term, how many square feet are in a square yard? Definition, 9. Flashcard 50. Term, what is a plat map? Definition, laid out with a complete legal description by section, number, etc. Flashcard 51. Term, what is a datum? Definition, the level plane which is used by the benchmark to determine elevation and from which surveyor's measuring begins. Flashcard 52. Term, how many square feet are in an acre? Definition, 43,560. Flashcard 53. Term, each section of a township is how many square miles? Definition, 1. Flashcard 54. Term, are monuments considered reliable? Definition, no, they are considered the least reliable part of the measurement since monuments sometimes disappear over time. Flashcard 55. Term, what are the tax maps indicating these parcel numbers based on? Definition, the recorded plat maps as well as their land recorded in the county. Flashcard 56. Term, what is used to aid in the assessment of property for tax collection? Definition, each piece, parcel, of land is given a parcel number. Flashcard 57. Term, how many acres are in a piece of property measuring 620 foot x 430, 56.127.258.36. Definition, the problem asks for the area in acres. 620 foot x 430 equals 266,600 square feet. Divide the square footage of the area given by the amount of square feet in an acre. 43,560.266, 600 over 43,560 equals 6.12. Flashcard 58. Term, how many sets of principal meridians are there in the United States? Definition, 36. Flashcard 59. Term, if you want to buy 1/4 of a section, how much land is that? Definition. The amount of land would be 1/4 of 640 acres equals 160 acres. Flashcard 60. Term, where does the Tallahassee principal meridian run? Definition. North and south. Flashcard 61. Term, E1/2 of the NW1/4 of the NE1/4 of the SW1/4 of sector 36 is. Definition. 2x4x4x4 equals 128 640 over 128 equals 5 acres. Flashcard 62. Term, what are monuments? Definition. They are fixed objects that are used to establish this point of beginning. Flashcard 63. Term, what does every property have? Definition. A parcel number, assessed value of the land and structure's owner's name and address of record. Flashcard 64. Term, what are range lines? Definition. Lines drawn north and south, east and west. Flashcard 65. Term, within these sections are also corrections for the what? Definition. Earth shape. Flashcard 66. Term, what would be an example of a meets and bounds system? Definition. Reaching the stately old pine, thence in a northeasterly direction for 500 feet at 210 degrees to the middle of the old stone fence, thence in a southeasterly direction 300 foot at a reading of 240 degrees until reaching the old Dutch mill, thence in a southwestern direction 200 at 360 degrees until reaching the point of beginning, POB,